And live. See if anybody shows up to this thing. Impromptu live session here. Thought I'd show some fun comics and see if we can answer some VeVe questions. We'll see if anybody shows up. Definitely some interesting times with the VeVe app these days. And hey, there's a guy I know. How's it going? Yeah, so I definitely show some comics here and talk to some people, see what's going on. Hope you're all having a great night. This is my second live, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Not used to doing this thing. Yeah, so go ahead and definitely ask any questions that you might have. I'll do my best to answer anything. And excited to have people here. So I was going through and organizing some of my comics. So I thought I was like, hey, maybe I should do this online. That can't be the worst thing ever. See if I get anybody. Ask me any questions if you want, but I thought I'd just jump in. I am a big Venom fan. Oh, hey, Brian. And so I was trying to put it all together. I rearranged my office, as you guys can tell. So I had to take a bunch of things down and move them around and all kinds of stuff like that. So I thought I'd kind of go through some of my Venom comics. It's the most recent run, not the most recent one, but definitely a fun one. Oh, people ask, okay. So Dan has a question for me. I'll answer that quickly. What would I do differently if I started all over again? So I came into the app. I bought a bunch of ASM ones for under $20. So that was a good thing. Then I bought Todd and Superman. That was a good thing. I think Superman was like 900 or 800 and Todd was 1700 at that point. So I did that right. You know what I should have done is probably picked up some more SRs. So that one was something I definitely didn't get. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm using this mic here. I don't use it that often, so if I'm having problems, let me know if you can't hear me. What else? I was able to get a Spider-Man SR, although that was expensive. Probably should have just anteed up and gotten the MC1 SR, even though it was really expensive. I can't even remember what it was at that time. It probably was 5 to 10K somewhere in there, but it was spendy. Definitely. Let me see if I remember how to do this. I think I click on it. No, maybe I can't. I don't know how to highlight the, I'm not using StreamYard. I should probably do that. I'm just using the app that comes with YouTube. So let me, I don't know necessarily how to highlight people like they do on the big time ones. So, but I'll just go through there and answer questions here. So, what's the next superhero collectible you're looking forward to? Probably Miles Morales. And I think we'll have a shot this month to get it. Otherwise, any of the big ones, Wolverine, Professor X, any of the Venom, any of the big heroes, Silver Surfer, I'd be excited for. Do you know the physical Batman statues? Which one is season 1 without the box? Thanks. How do you know which one? I don't know that. I only know by looking in the app. So I do have a Todd back here. It's hidden behind my camera here. This is my camera. In case you're wondering, that's a Sony ZV-1. That's the one I do all my videos with here. It has a special little case on it. And this camera cost me $500. I got it used. And it's been good. And it's a 4K camera. Obviously, you see my videos and whatnot. I'm using a webcam right now. So and it has trouble focusing, as you can tell. So I have to be careful. It can't focus as fast as this other one. So yeah, there's a Todd back here, and it is a first edition. I think there's 5,000 of those. I know that other people have been collecting those as well. Okay, so what else it says? When is the VeVe exclusive covers option coming to VeVe Rank? Some other filters. Yeah, I got the cover artist in there. And now I need to mark the ones that are the exclusive covers, generally, as we know, is the rare and the ultra rares. And then in the search, I need to have an advanced search so you can search for those. But that's definitely something I want to add. That's a good one. Thanks, Nick. Brian says I sound good. Thanks, Brian. Brian LCS, if you don't know, is responsible for the, I'm going to say it wrong, Brian, I apologize, but he is the one who hands out all the awards each year for the YouTube comic book best YouTubers. So you should definitely go check out him. And it's a big effort he does. He did it last year. I'm sure he's going to do it again this year. Hi, Sleep and love your videos. Always feel I can relate to the best to your views. Always great stuff, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. BJN. Ken Penguin. Good evening. Sounds good. Johnny Dunn. Oh, get the legends in here now. Whew. Good to see you, Johnny. Thanks. Go sub him up too. And that guy's been around a long time. Learned a lot from him. Legacy T, loud and clear. What's up, Sleeping? What's up, Legacy? Omi Queen, Fantastic 412's real world value. Why isn't it translated to VeVe? I mean, some of them just haven't. And that's obviously a lot of the value in that is because it's such an early and old Fantastic Four. And for whatever reason, I think some of the first appearance ones are really pushing right now. But I think eventually, when Fantastic Four movie comes and I think a lot of people are going to be like, I want to get all these Fantastic Four comics. And so that's, I think, maybe where you could see it push up a little bit. Mark says, yo, Sleepin', what's your thoughts on Maximum Carnage 14? It's part of the comic book series. I almost purchased a full set 9.8 grade. Yeah, that's a great one. I'm not really the biggest Carnage fan, but obviously he's been an incredible villain, and that's a good run. So that's a good one. Daniel says, comment, bad spelling, so retracted my question. Sounds good, loud and clear. Yeah. Mark Allen says long-term value. I'm not sure which one he's talking about there. King's Crown says, I have Marvel Comics #1 common, Spider-Man common, Fantastic Four 1 common. I'm thinking about selling them to pay for Disney Golden Moments. C-3PO, should I keep the comics? I mean, I think you can't lose. If you keep the comics, they're going to go up in value. If you go grab C-3PO, I mean, we know that's going to go up in value, and it's very low right now. So it's up to you. If you're more of a Star Wars fan, maybe it makes sense to go for the C-3PO if you like the comics. But I think it's all going to go up. So you can't go wrong, I don't think, there. What secret rare comics would you recommend on the dip? Any of the tier A's or B's that I have on my website, which would be, Daredevil, Fantastic Four, Avengers, all the ones that I have listed on my VeVe Rank website. If I had to pick one, that's a tough one. Let me come back to that. Let me think about that one. Sorry. Give us your price prediction for Marvel Comics 1. It's going to go up. I mean, I think the common, as we can see, I think it's high. It almost got to well over 5, 7. It's been up there. So I bet you the common eventually gets to 1,000. It may take a while, but I bet you it will. Just people know the value of that comic. And I know there's a lot of them, but there's a lot of people in the app now. So I think Marvel Comics 1 is going to continue to go up. Oh, you wanted to know the ultra rare and secret rare for Marvel Comics 1. I mean, they're going to be out of this world, right? I think the SR has already been, 70, 80,000 gems. I want to make sure to try and say gems now, because we know that there's all these, I have a video coming too, but we know that there's going to be these fees. So it's not necessarily, if it's, 100,000 gems, after you pay all those fees, it's not going to be that to your wallet. So I want to make sure I say gems, not dollars. And obviously other people are in different currencies too. So I got to say gems. But yeah, those are going to be worth a ton. And then NFTs. Hey man, how's it going? Yeah, I don't do lives very often. I'm not that good at it. I feel like I got to loosen up a little bit or something like that. Alejandro, am I pronouncing that right? I don't even know. Sorry. What do you think of the drop of all the NFTs on VeVe in February? They've been a little lackluster, I think. I think if you're a Disney fan, maybe not, because we got the lenticular cards. Ooh, I said that word, lenticular. That's a hard word for me. And, the 2 more golden moments. We saw that motorcycle today. I kind of like that motorcycle. I didn't buy it, but I tried for the drop. I like that motorcycle. Glad to see that it did well. But yeah, they haven't been as crazy as some. But I am more of a Marvel and a Star Wars person, so we'll see. Obviously, May the 4th is coming up, so that could be a crazy one. What are your thoughts on Spider-Man 252? Well, we know it's not the biggest book in the real world, but it is the first black suit, and obviously the mint number is really, really low on it. It's, who's to say what its value is? The market, it's a free market, so anybody can spend gems or sell for whatever they want. And so 252, that seems to be the price that people are willing to pay right now. I do not have one, and I am not willing to pay that price, so I don't have one. But maybe in the future, we'll see. I think if there's a huge gem squeeze on comics, we get a Amazing Fantasy 15 or a Hulk 181 or something like that. That's really going to put that ASM 252 to the test. But we'll see. We'll see. Dan says, what is your prediction for VeVe Comics when there are hundreds and thousands on the app? Will the cream of the grails rise to top? Yes. And I think we're already seeing that because, for example, the Loki one that's dropping tomorrow, it's just not a big comic. And it's not even, in my opinion, once again, my opinion, it's not even that good looking of a comic. So that's really going to be, not to be mean, but a bottom of the barrel comic. And those exist in the real world, and they're actually okay because in continuity, people are reading the stories. And so you just want some of that. I was even going to go through my collection of Venom here. I might not get to it. Maybe I'll pause for a second and go through some Venom. But there's some filler books in there, but you collect them because you're reading the whole run. And we don't have that yet. So yeah, some of these ones are just haphazardly dumping onto us that we don't like, and they don't have any key pieces or key moments in them. Yeah, we're not seeing any of those guys take off. Oh, I was wondering why this headset was not working. I will try plugging it in. I guess I don't need it. All right, this is better. Okay, so now I can hear myself. So if I'm too loud or too low, and I couldn't figure it out, you didn't realize I was that stupid, did you? All right, good thing that I'm showing off how dumb I am live. That's important. Okay, so next one is, what ultra rare comics are being slept on? I think a lot of them are being slept on. I think that obviously there is a huge discrepancy between the secret rare prices and the ultra rare, and we know that that's a very low number, 1050 on a lot of them. And when you're talking about Marvel Comics 1 and etc., once they're really, really out of reach, and it's a comic that people really, really, really want, those ultra rares I think are going to catch fire a little bit more than they are. Death Bunny, hey man, what's up? What's up? Aren't you supposed to be sleeping? Yeah, pretty soon. Definitely going to be sleeping here. Let's see who else is in here. Oh gosh, it just jumped on me here. VeVe rank shows is mint for Daredevil 25. Ooh, that's my fault. I got to fill it in. Yeah. It's just a manual process. I go and look at the medium just like everybody and dump it in. So that's going on there. What are you? Oh, okay. I'm losing track here. What are thoughts on Tomorrow's Comic? I'm not a big fan of Tomorrow's Comic. I think Tradd Moore is the artist, who I am a big Tradd Moore fan, but unfortunately, yeah, that one tomorrow is at least not one that I probably would be going for. He said, "What's your favorite comic on VeVe?" My favorite comic right now is probably Ultimate Fallout 4 because I'm a big Miles fan. But the Fantastic Four one's fun. I mean, there's a lot of great ones on there, and we're going to be getting a lot more. So, but yeah, that would be my favorite one, Ultimate Fallout 4. What do you think Hulk 181 when it comes to VeVe? Oh wow, I got a super chat. I actually have never gotten a super chat before, and I don't even know how to do it. But hey, man, thanks, MNNFTs. Now you're good. It feels natural. I love it. Hey, that's my first super chat, so I appreciate that very much. Thanks. 181. So Hulk 181, which I have somewhere around here. Hulk 181 is the first appearance of Wolverine. It's an iconic book in the real world and an expensive one. Even in low grades, it's fairly spendy. In other words, I think hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and even a 6 or something like that might be $5,000 or $6,000. I'm not sure. So if you have a 9.8, I mean, it's probably $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 comic, maybe even more these days. What will it do when it comes to VeVe? It's going to blow up because Wolverine is everybody loves Wolverine. And I think that's just going to be a massive, massive book Although what happens, because there's in the comic book community, he does the last panel of Hulk 180 is Wolverine, shows Wolverine in costume, and then 181 he's part of the story. So a lot of people think that Hulk 180 is the first appearance of Wolverine. So what happens if they don't release Hulk 181? They release Hulk 180 into VeVe. That would be interesting. Cause all kinds of drama. When Pokemon says, "Let's go, let's go," having fun says, "Hey there, how do you see Marvel Comics? You are going. What do you predict as the next couple to be second and third?" Number one, yeah, like I said, Marvel Comics 1 is going to continue to go up, and it's going to try to race after, I think, the Secret Rare. It's a good one, I think. And what are the next ones that are going to be valuable? I think any of those top tier ones, the tier A ones, which would be, Daredevil 1, ASM 1, any of those, I think, because the secret rares are going to get out of reach, and we're already starting to see that, it's going to pull on those ultra rares. So that's what I think. Starting by show my support. Hey, thank you very much. Slim says, "Hey, Mark, how do you feel about the Spider-Man comic recently? The most recent run, I haven't been reading. I apologize. I haven't really read ASM I haven't pulled ASM for a couple years. I just haven't been as excited about it recently. Okay, I lost my thing. Okay, are you buying Omi? I do have Omi. I have millions of it. And I think I'm good for now. I know it's really low, but I think I'm happy with the amount of money that I've invested at this point in Omi. Obviously, we pray for it to go up, but it's just going through its normal back and forth dips. I think we need an exchange or some really big, the next catalyst to push it. But I'm a big believer. I'm hoping we get Captain America for July 4th. Ooh, Captain America 1 would be a big one. So Captain America 1 is first appearance of Captain America. Very, very rare book in the real world. An iconic cover of him punching Hitler. And it's an MC1 like book that is, a ghost in the real world. So that would be a fun one and would be worth a ton of money. Slim is just saying hi to Brian. You guys should, if you guys are interested in physical comics or physical collectibles like cards, you should go check out Slim Comics and More. He's got a great channel. He does live streams sometimes around noon. So he's got a great one. Definitely go check out that guy's channel. VeVe Showroom. Hey, Sleeping, what's in the new comic that's a possibility of being as large as MCU? So AF-15 would be obviously Hulk 181, which would be the first appearance of Wolverine. I think a lot of these, older books that we've, that haven't yet come out. So another one, I'm just taking ones off the top of my head. Fantastic Four 48, which is the first appearance of Silver Surfer. Although I guess, Silver Surfer is my favorite hero, so maybe I'm biased towards that. But there's definitely some good ones that in Captain America 1, the guy just mentioned, there's some ones, MC1 is a big one, so I don't know. And it was the first NFT comic. So, but I think there's some ones that definitely could get close. Circumstances in here. What's up, Circumstances? How you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by. We got a lot of the old school physical book homies in here. I like that. Michael, can you make a string of physical comic collectors not liking comic NFTs? Thanks. Thank you. As a new collector I'm losing it. So many people. I'm trying to catch up. As a new collector who never collected physical comic, any tips? Go slow. I mean, you don't need to be buying 9.8s. Go visit your local comic book store and just walk around and have fun. And you can buy some raw comics. You don't need to go and buy these 9.8s and, all this stuff. Just have fun. Go read some comics. There's nothing wrong with it. It'll be great. Ben S says, what up? What up, man? Oh, Huddle Fandom's in here. This guy's channel is also amazing. You need to go follow him and watch some of his videos. And he does, I feel like I do a little bit of analysis and other things. No, you got to go watch some of that guy's videos, because his videos are crazy in terms of the analysis that he does. So Huddle Fandom, definitely go check out that guy's channel for sure. Ben S, LML. Alfred said, thoughts on ASM3? I mean, it's a good one. I mean, it's a good one. Pick it up, grab it. You can't go wrong with it. Yeah, you shortened your name, NFTs. I see that. Uh, thanks, circumstances. Stroke the like button. Do you think the crappy SR comics will do well because people will buy them for the MCP points? 6 points a day. I think they will. Now, I have a video way back where I talked about the MCP. And if you don't know what that is, that's the Master Collector Program. And for different types of collectibles and comics you get more and more points. And then you can use those for things. And you have levels and all kinds of other nonsense. But the biggest part of it is that apparently you'll be able to take these points and try to, you know, get these raffle tickets and apply those to getting a drop. The math that I did on it, I wasn't all that impressed with, but we'll see what the end results are. Bennett, what's your feelings? Okay. So to answer Dan, do I think that people will do that? Yes, I do, especially if, because they're going to be looking at dollars per point. And if there's a secret rare comic that's really cheap, they're going to go for it. Ben S says, what are your feelings on the first 20 minted common comics versus the secret rare? I mean, I think they're super valuable. We don't know how they compare to a secret rare. So the common question is, if you have, publicly available, the very first common comic, which is, 201, let's just use, Fantastic Four. A 201 common, is that more or less valuable than a secret rare, 36,000? And my answer to you is, I don't know. I'm sorry. We need to find out. My instincts are it's probably worth more. But will it be in the end? I don't know. We'll see. OBL's in here. Hey, OBL. Thanks for coming in and supporting. Definitely follow her channel too. And she's great. Daniel Marquez comment. Oh, thanks. Anthony M, what's a fair price to pay for a first edition Todd statue of the? I don't know. I think someone posted there was a company selling some for $250. I got mine for $175, but I think a lot of them are sold out and they are going up in value quite quickly. So I don't know what a fair market value for that is right now. I'd say just watch eBay, but I know a lot of them are being sold out quickly. 3-digit versus 4-digit versus floor mint. What would you rather flip in the short term, medium? I mean, as you watch the channel, I buy a lot of stuff on the floor. I try to get it for as cheap as I can. And obviously, if there's a small discrepancy in price and I can go up and get a different mint, I do that. But I'm mostly a guy who lives on the floor. So maybe that's bad, but that's what I do. Oh, I also mint flip. In other words, so a perfect example would be my Walt. So my Walt that I originally got was, I don't even know, whatever, 2000 or something like that. And so I flipped it to get one in under 2000. And I paid the guy, I think like I think I paid him like 500 gems or something like that. So it was expensive. And then I flipped again to get to 501. So my current Walt is 501. And that cost me, I think I traded him. This is way before everything had exploded, but I traded some jokers and some gems. And so, so that I probably won't get any lower than that. So that is something I do. But generally when I'm buying on the floor. Next question, broad question, best use for 7K gems right now. Oh, I mean, it's exciting that you have 7J get gems right now. I think there's a lot of good deals. And it says you hope for Todd. Yeah, if you can grab a Todd or any of those golden moments, I think those are all great. And you could do some sort of more analysis in terms of by percentage when you're looking at some of those top tier grails and you're looking at the all-time high and what they're at right now, what has fallen by largest percentage. That may be one way you could do it from a more technical perspective. Otherwise, you just kind of go by feel. So for example, if you're a huge, Batman fan, I guess, Todd would be the way to go. Lots of people saying hello. Whoa, I got another super chat. Oh, so once again, one of the negative things here is, I guess I'm not maybe doing this right, but either way, Michael says, I owe you a lot. I have not the background in comics and you guys helped me a lot. Thanks. All right. Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate the donation. That's incredible. I've gotten 2 tonight, my very first 2. For FF48. Yes. I don't know where my FF48 is. Somewhere around here. Hopefully I haven't disposed of it. FF48 is the first appearance of Silver Surfer. That's a significant one. Uncanny 248. Yeah, another good one. Hope you're well sleeping. OBL says, do you have a favorite comic artist? I have a lot of ones. Jack Kirby obviously is a huge one. And you know, there's different eras. It's always difficult for me to say who's my favorite. I'd say currently the one that I have been collecting a lot of is Clayton Crane. Let me grab one of his. So I was going to try and show some comics here. Let me see if I have that one. Where is it? I don't have a Clayton Crane comic nearby, which is really unbelievable. Oh, here I do. So this is the Clayton Crane comic. So he's a relatively, you know, it's not like he's not that new, but he's, sorry, that's really loud. So here's an example of a Clayton Crane, who's one of my favorite artists. This is Venom 7, cameo of Eddie Brock's son. So this is a really big book. I met him, and he did this sketch on here and then signed it. So if you can see his signature here, he does a lot of different signatures. If you pay him extra, he'll do it in the multiple colors. So it's pretty cool. And great guy, really fun guy to meet. So that's my answer to that. ASM 300. Yeah, I have an ASM 300 behind me over my left shoulder right now. You can see it right next to Venom. That one is a signed Todd McFarlane and Stan Lee. Both signed that book. So that one's worth quite a bit of money and a fun one to have. Picked up a lot of 30 adventure comics. Ooh, awesome. All raw. Just feel like they have history in my hands. Yeah, that is what's fun. And hopefully maybe they're consecutive and you can read them. But yeah, it's so fun. That's the best. That's the best. What's your opinion on Here for Hire 1? I like it. Yeah. And I think he's gonna, have a Disney Plus show. They're gonna bring him back. So definitely a good one. I really like the ultra rare and rare covers on that one. What makes a great superhero story? It's a good relatable, I think. And it's different for each person because what's relatable for one person might not be for another. So I think that's what makes it more personal. But that's a good question. Even if you hate Batman, Todd is the way to go. Yeah. Batman, you can't go wrong with Batman or Todd. Hope you had luck, Data. Okay. Just some hey, Wendy's in here. Thanks, Wendy. Another person you should go follow her channel and watch her interviews. Really, really good. Can you help me rationalize why Black Panther on VeVe is worth so much for the non-valuable comic in the physical? I don't get why. Well, as we know, it's the first appearance of Okoye, and I mean, it's valuable from that perspective, and I think she might be getting a show. And but I think people might have gotten confused and thought that was the first appearance of Black Panther, but in the comics, that's Fantastic 452. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It might fall a little bit. I picked up the poster for 82 and Triumph for 110. Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah. I wanted to get that bike. I don't have that many gems left, a couple thousand. So I'm just keeping them to see what drops. I don't want to be caught if something drops that I really, really want. So we'll see what happens. What's up, Sleeping Crazy Fire comic? Thanks, Valve. Nick says, Sleeping, I was wondering if there is such thing as a comic cover artist being more desirable than others. If so, who do you think? Yeah, I mean, there's definitely people that enjoy certain covers other than others, and that's obviously comes down to your own personal preference. I did do a video where I think, for example, Alex Ross has some covers, and he's in the physical world has a huge fan base. Same with a lot of Scotty Young, a lot of these different comic book artists. So I think as we get more comics and things play out, there are going to be people that are like, I really like this artist, and regardless of the comic and the first appearance and all that stuff, I just am going to collect this artist's art. Prime example, that's Clayton Crane. I have a lot of Clayton Crane books that they're not worth that much money, but I like his art and I like him as an artist, so I just collect his books. So yes, I agree 100%. That is something that's going to happen. Wendy, nice cover and grade. That's what Slim says. And Wendy. So Wendy even likes my book. See, nothing wrong if Wendy likes my book. That sign art is crazy. Yes. So I drove to Kansas City from Minnesota. It took me, I think, like 7 hours. I got there about an hour too early, waited in line, had all my stuff signed, turned around and drove home. So 14 hours of driving that day. I got a number of books signed. Let me see if I have any other ones from that signing. I have a bunch, obviously. Oh, here's one, which I got a terrible grade on. But so this is Venom 25 of that same run. And this one could only be purchased. I am like blocking the microphone. This one could only be purchased at his signings. So that was pretty cool. So I was glad to get that one. I have one other one. I wonder where it is. Okay, I can't reach it. I'll be right back. I guess this has turned into a Clayton Crane fest. But if you like my channel, you're going to get a lot of Clayton Crane prompts. So this is another one. This is Venom 35, the last book in that run, which is the first appearance of Dylan Brock as the new Venom. So this is going to be a book that I think is actually going to have value. And this only came out like last year. So this is same deal where this particular artist, Clayton Crane, was on tour, and you could only get this book if you went to one of his stops, and then he signed it. So I was not there. I bought this from Elite Comics. If you follow Comics and Crypto, he has been talking a lot about him, and he did a Twitter space. You can go on to IG and find Elite Comics 11. They do all kinds of different things, but definitely hit them up if you're interested in physical books. So I got this from them, and so this is spectacular. But you can see it's signed up here, and just a cool one if you're into Venom and you're into Clayton Crane, which I am. I don't know. I'm probably not answering these questions for. Okay, what is next? I purchased my first physical comic because of VeVe. Batman 423. Yes, that's a great one. I have a 9.8 back there. Oh, gosh, over my left shoulder, you can see him next to Spider-Man. That's a 9.8 first print 423. Those are hard to find. I was lucky to grab one off of eBay before they completely disappeared. Circumstance just talking. OBL says I definitely check out the rest of his work. Cosmic Venom, sick man. Thanks. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's one of those guys that has reached a threshold where he doesn't really. He just works for himself now. He does. And I have a ton of. If you really wanted to see some of his stuff, go look. There's a video I have, maybe a year ago that shows off some of the covers that I have. A lot of covers from his different, covers that he's done. I bought Panther 58 last week. Be able to make my money back. I don't know. We'll see. I'm a little bit unclear on that Black Panther one, but it's a cool comic either way. Origin story helps out a superhero a lot. Yeah. What do you think of Namor? So Namor is kind of like the Aquaman of it's probably a lot of people are probably gonna hate me for saying that, of the Marvel world, and is supposedly in the new Black Panther 2 movie, which has been delayed for COVID and other reasons. I don't even think they've started filming it again. They started filming it and had to stop and start and stop. So I think it probably is not going to be out in 2022, which is too bad. I would bet a year from now it might come out. And supposedly Namor will be in there. And I think it'll be exciting. I think it's going to be really cool. Wendy said, gives me the heart. Thanks, Wendy. Oh gosh, now I messed it up again. What do you think about the new What If comics coming up with Miles Morales? I've seen the covers. I don't know. I'll be interested, and I'll try and pick it up. So good one, Michael. Yeah, very interested. We'll see what happens there. And as you know, they are playing into the What If stuff. All of the, if you didn't watch any of the What If from the Disney Plus last summer, I advise watching them. Especially watch episode 1, which was Captain Carter. Episode, I can't remember the one with Doctor Strange where it's, a different what if of Doctor Strange. And I just think those two, and there's a couple others maybe, but those two for sure, I think you definitely wanted to watch before the Doctor Strange 2 movie. And they're fun ones. They're like, and not even that long. I think they might be 30 minutes, if that even. What do you think of SR only had 455 editions? Oh, of the what if test. Okay, so that one is interesting. Once again, I don't think it's that big significant yet. What would happen if they did do that what if show with Spider-Man? I don't know. That one I'm not as high on. But that's just me. I hope you have better luck to know. I struck out again. I literally have gone months without winning anything. So the only time I have gotten anything was on the Marvel Mighties that came out maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and I didn't win. My wife won one and then sent it to me. So if that counts. Why is Kane Comics so high in value? I'm planning on getting a common Marvel. I mean, it was the first. Now, in itself, it is a valuable comic, as we know, and Kang is a villain that we've seen in the Loki show, and we are going to see. I'm sure we'll see potentially him in multiple movies, but the one movie they have mentioned for sure, I always am careful when I say for sure, is the new Ant-Man movie, which I don't think will be out for another year, longer than a year, maybe 2 years. And so we know he's going to be a bad guy. We think he's going to be in multiple movies, but that particular comic is valuable because it was the first of the comics that had a very limited quantity. So it kind of bundled those two things, a very limited quantity and a relatively important character. But it doesn't fall. I mean, it's not the first appearance of, in my mind, Kang is not the first appearance of Daredevil. So Kang is not the first appearance of the Fantastic Four. So it has a lot of value and it looks like some of those other ones, but it's really the scarcity that has pushed it there. We will have to see if it can keep that over time. And it has fallen some, right? It's seen some real ups and downs. And it's kind of like ASM 252. Well, will it stand the test of time when you put it up against some other big grails when Hulk 181 drops or something like that? People might want to jump to it, but we'll see. We're just going to see what happens. Wendy says, should I sell all my no grail comics and stack more Marvel ones and FF4s? Yeah, I mean, holding grails is never a bad thing. And I know that a lot of the comics don't have a lot of meaning to people. So I think that makes sense. Now, I own a lot of common and uncommons of almost all the comics. I don't own 252. There's a couple others maybe I don't have, but I could pick up because they're relatively low price. And obviously I like comics, but if you're looking at it from more of an investment perspective, I think there's nothing wrong with selling a bunch of your comics and loading up on those, on my website, which are the Type S and Type A and Type B comics. I don't think you can go wrong with that. So that's that one. Kang is the next Thanos. Yeah, I think Kang could be the next Thanos. I think Doctor Doom could be the next Thanos. I mean, next Thanos is kind of a weird, but yeah, he's going to be a villain. We've already seen him once, and we're going to see him multiple times. So yeah, I think you're right. Do you think there have any utilities for holding them besides raffle tickets? That's a good question. I mean, yeah, it's I don't think so. Not with the comics, at least. Now, the other collectibles, sky's the limit, right? They've talked about some of these Disney NFTs, giving you free tickets to Disneyland, or they'll have certain nights where you can go to, Disney places, and they'll have, you have to hold a Disney NFT to get in. So there's all kinds of crazy. I think there'll be lots of utility once they have a Disneyverse, metaverse, whatever, that we can go to, and these NFTs are going to unlock things. I don't know necessarily about the real world, but I think it will be both. But we're just waiting to see what happens. But yeah, I think you can't go wrong with some of especially the Disney grails for sure. The golden moments you can't go wrong with. They're going to unlock things in real life, and they're going to unlock things in the Disney VeVe, in Disneyverse for sure, in my mind. But the comics, sadly, I don't think so. They're just going to have value because they're the digital representations on the blockchain. They're limited in value, and I think people are going to want to collect them. Hey, buddy, do you think it's a good idea to stack comics to have characters to be featured upcoming movies? Like 2 or 3. Yes, I do. So what you're doing there is it's speculation, which happens a lot in physical comic books. So like the example I would say would be Monica Rambeau, who's a relatively unknown character. So the price of that comic is not that high. That is Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16. So because when you go out on the street and say who's Monica Rambeau, 9 out of 10, probably more than that, doesn't know who that is. If she ends up being a big character, people love her. Think about, I always say nobody knew who Tony Stark was, 15 years ago. Now he's huge. So yeah, I do both, but know what you're doing. So this is more of a speculation. This could, like, Strange Academy is another one that they have that could totally blow up and be nothing for 25 years. So if you're going to throw, a ton of money into that, it's going to possibly never work out, or you could be waiting a long time. Could your whatever 1,000 gems be better spent on a Joker right now? Maybe. That's probably going to go up right away when everything bounces. So just kind of figure out what you want to do. I'm trying to find out where it was. I should put my mouse here. See, I'm not smart about doing this stuff here. I believe Amazon Amazing Spider-Man 1 is going to be the most expensive comic. This is because the first Spider-Man comic in blockchain, people underestimate blockchain. Okay, it's possible. I do think Amazing Fantasy 15, when that comes out, will be, even though it's not first from the perspective of the blockchain, it's just such an iconic and expensive comic in the real world. And it's the first appearance in the real world. I think it will be more expensive than ASM 1. We'll see what happens. Spine Tix is in here. What's up, Sith? Thanks for stopping by. Brian says hit the like. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. When you say Amazing Spider-Man will crush the VeVe app. Yeah, ASM 15 will crush the app. And I think that might be even one where people who are not into VeVe might be like, you know what? I'm going to come in and try for this drop, because if I get this ASM 15 on the drop, it's going to be worth a ton of money. So we'll see what happens. Your crane collection is awesome. Yeah, I have a good crane collection. My Clayton crane collection is pretty good. I was going to go through these Venom books, but I don't think we're going to make it. Superman comic number 1 is coming to VeVe. Well, we need DC to sign up. Hopefully they will. And we don't know what's going to happen, but if they do, yeah, there could be some really, there are some DC books that could give a lot of these Marvel books a run for their money, for sure. First appearance of Batman, Joker, all these things they could give it a run. Superman, action, all these ones could give them a good run for their money. Wow, live, awesome. Yeah. See people buying comics for art and story, not just as an investment. Yes, it's all. It's art, it's story, it's fun. You can't go wrong with comics. OBL says, shout out to Peach Momoko. Yes. Oh wait, do I have a Peach Momoko cover here? You want to see a Peach Momoko cover? I sent this comic to Japan to get signed by Peach Momoko. Oh, I have it. All right, so this comic. So Peach Momoko is a relatively new artist. Sorry, it's going to be loud. And she has her own distinct style. We've seen her style already. The only one I can think of offhand is the Daredevil 27. I think she has the secret rare. And so this comic of Silver Surfer against Null is one of her iconic ones. This is a rare 1 in 25 Silver Surfer Black 4. And you can see Null fighting Silver Surfer, and she signed it. I had to send this one, like I said, to Japan to get signed. So it took forever, and then I was so happy it was a 9.8, because you never know when it gets shipped back and forth overseas if it's going to come back mangled or not. So there's your Peach Momoko, OBL. I'm a huge Peach Momoko fan also. Okay. How fortuitous that I had this here. I have something fun. Okay. Nick says, another thought, if VeVe chooses to release artist cover signatures. Yeah. That will be huge. They said they're going to do it. I don't doubt that they're going to do it. And who would I choose? The big one would be Todd. But Todd, as I've said before, has said he's not doing mini signings anymore. Could VeVe get him to do one? I hope. Who wouldn't want their Todd or one of these other comics from him signed? That would be, incredible. Sadly, some of the people that I would want signed have passed away. But, there, Peach Momoko, you could she's still around, or there's a lot of other artists that we could get, and maybe VeVe could do some sort of a signing or something like that, maybe at one of their conferences or something like that. That would be pretty fun, or conventions, I should say. That could be pretty fun. But yeah, I would like to see a lot. What do you think of Sonic Hell 5 controversial long term? It's a good question, Michael. I won't get into it. I think it's okay. I think all these things are controversial at the time, and then somehow I think we all just accept as part of the different types of stories, and I think it's fine. I think it's good. It'll be good to go. Should I buy Fallout 4 mid grade or NFT? I can read the NFT and VeVe, as you mentioned. I mean, it's up to you. It's fun to have the physical. It's fun to have the NFT. You can get a common. It's tough to know. But yeah, it's fun to have a physical one too. Try and get both. If you get a mid grade, it shouldn't be that expensive. So yeah, I got Avengers $3 Avengers and X-Men comic recently. I'm surprised there hasn't been more movie adaptation to put them together. Maybe it's not people not aware of. Oh, I know the AVX series. Yeah, and I think I can't remember which one it is. 3? Can't remember which one it is. There's some significant events that happen in that I think could be mimicked. And I'm not the only guy. I mean, everybody. I mean, this is a lot of people say this could be seen in the Black Panther 2 movie. So, but I will add this because this is something I think people get confused about. So, in the world of collecting, from my opinion, and I'm not the only guy who says this, there are first appearances and then there are events. Generally speaking, the events, they have some value, but they're not as valuable as a first appearance. So let me give you an example. We just saw Spider-Man #1, the event of Peter Parker meeting Miles Morales. It's cool, but it's only worth so much. It's pretty much not worth that much. Another example might be Captain America picking up Thor's hammer. Or, these are events that happen, but the book itself might have a little bit of a pop and it might get to, $50, $100 in the real world, but it's not like a first appearance that continually really, really, really goes up. I'm also thinking, I can't remember the name of the one. I own the comic, but I can't remember the comic where Iron Man puts on the Infinity Gauntlet, which that comic was like a nothing comic. And then of course, after Endgame, that comic blew up, but still don't quote me on this, but still, I bet you it's a $200 book, a $100 book. It's not $50,000, and I don't think it ever will be. So it will never reach like the first appearance of Iron Man or anything like that. So keep that in mind when you're collecting also on the VeVe app. Is this an event or is this a first appearance? And so sometimes I think people get that confused. So when you're talking about what happened in the AVX, is it an event or is it a first appearance? Just watch that. Hey, Sleeping. Oh, watch it. It's good. Okay. Hey, Sleeping, what do you think floor prices of Captain America 117 could be compared to the physical copy? I mean, I think that one's going to go up. I think we're in this weird gem squeeze right now. So everything is kind of just falling or static. But once everything starts picking up, obviously we're waiting for that movie too, which I don't even know when that's coming out. But that one I think will go up. UF4 first print 9.8 to the moon. Yes. That one obviously has been going up. I used to own a bunch of them. So Ultimate Fallout 4 first print 9.8, I think goes for around $3,500. It's been moving up. And I think when I first bought mine years back, I got it for $350 or something like that. So yeah, it's gone up quite a bit since then. This one says, to get more people on your channel, take best questions and turn each short videos of people who don't watch live. Gets people who don't know these questions watch yours. Okay, that's a good suggestion. I'll try that. What site do you use to purchase the statues behind you? I love to start buying VeVe collectibles and real life statues. So some of these statues are from the various. So the biggest place to buy statues is Sideshow Collectibles, and they have their own statues, but they also have deals with other big, well-known statue makers. And so those companies have a relationship with Marvel. They get the license. They make the statues. They're generally low mints. Sounds familiar, like VeVe. So, like this Thor that's right there, I think is Iron Studios one. I can't remember. But anyways, can you hear that ringing? I don't know. I think that's my son's phone. I apologize for that. So that's so sideshow collectibles will be a place to go. That then there's also these like this Venom that's behind me with the Infinity Gauntlet. That would be what's considered a custom one. So that company didn't get the license, so they just made the statue without a license with Marvel, which may or may not be good. And then they sell them, and so you can kind of buy them through websites and whatnot. There's kind of a I don't want to say underground, but a network of people who buy unlicensed statues, and some of those statues are the craziest statues that you can buy. But the negative are sometimes they're bad. They're really really bad. So you're always taking a gamble, and that one right there is really spectacular. So I was lucky, and they only made 40 of them, and then they're done. So they're generally super low mint, if you want to say might mint. So that one is a cool one, and is based off of the comic. That one's based off of the comic, like the Clayton Crane comic. So maybe that answers some of your questions. But they take up a lot of space. So that's why I kind of like VeVe. Can put any type of statue that I want anywhere I want in here. How will VeVe Comics impact the value of physical counterparts? I mean, it's already been shown, I think, that all these people that are collecting VeVe Comics that have not collected are now interested in that. They're going to LCS. They're buying off eBay. Like I suggest, you should go to Elite Comics 11, also, which is on IG, using all these different websites. So I think that there is going to be an influx of VeVe customers buying physical comics. And so they probably can't sit yet because they're like, oh, one here, one there. But once there are 10 million VeVe users, now not all of them are going to buy comics, but a percentage is. And now you're talking, could 10%? That's a million more people buying physical comics. That is crazy. So I think people that are in the physical comic book world that don't like NFTs, they can love or hate them. That doesn't matter to me. But I think they are going to see a bunch of people buying comics. So some of the prices might rise there. Team Comics sleeping. Yes, Wendy, I do buy a lot of common comics. I'm with you. Common for Eva. I don't know what that is, but all right. Let's go. I'm stacking New Mutants 98. Yeah, I think that's a smart, Michael. I think New Mutants 98 is a great one. I think once we see him in whatever movie, I mean, we could see him as early as the Doctor Strange 2 movie, right? But yeah, once you see Deadpool and he has to get his own movie, and they're going to have a plan for him, that comic's going to move up for sure. Mickey Mantle number 1 of 1. Yeah, I saw that. That's interesting, Randy. So the Mickey Mantle card is being auctioned as an NFT. I don't know all the specifics of it. Sorry, I'm not a card collector. But I do know that anytime we see any of these NFTs get a lot of press and they're worth a lot of value, it just continues to open up the world's eyes that these NFTs are worth a lot of money. And I think that helps us. I think it helps all of us. Stacking Darkhawk. Yeah, let's stack Darkhawk. I don't know if it's going to be worth anything ever, but maybe. Looking forward to seeing longer streams. Yeah. Well, I don't know how long I've been on. Maybe an hour. I don't even know. But definitely it's been fun. So throw any questions, like I said, you have. What are your thoughts on Spider-Man? I'm a whale. Like I mentioned, Wendy, I don't know about Spider-Man. I think it's a fun comic. I mean, the cover is spectacular, right? But long term, it'll get a jump once, because eventually at some point in time in the MCU, Spider-Man is going to meet Miles Morales. That book is going to get a jump, but I don't know what else is going to happen after that. And like I said, it's an event. So it'll get a little bit of a push, and I think people will like it, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be one of those books like a Fantastic Four 1, ASM 1, etc. That's going to continue to go up kind of almost forever. So that's my take on that one. What's that Venom statue? Because the Venom statue, like I said, is based off of the comic that I had, the Clayton Crane comic that I like. So, and I think there's a battery that I don't have. So Infinity Gauntlet actually lights up. The different Infinity Gems light up. It's pretty cool. Let me keep reading here. Been loving all your videos. Thanks, James. I appreciate that. Do you think it's like okay, time to buy Catman, Penguin, Batman before the movie comes out? I do. And I think that obviously the entire market is down. So Catwoman, Penguin, and Batman would be good buys right now. Now, could they go down a little bit more? Sure, but they've come down so far. I mean, the question is how much more can they come down? I own all of those, including Joker. I think, and Harley Quinn. I think all of those FA Batmans, including the Carmen, I always say that wrong, the Carmine Robin. I think all of those FAs are ones that if it was within your budget, you should pick up. I think they're going to be worth a lot. And if you could do it right now while the market's down, I think it's smart. I'm lucky enough to have all of them. So, and I'm hodling them all till the end of time. Also, out of the last handful of comic tracks, are any of them standing out to as undervalued? Yeah, that's tough. I'm trying to think of some of the ones that have just come out. Here, let's pull it up on my website. Give me a second. So I think, I don't think they've come out with, so for example, in my, thing, I don't think they've come out with a tier A comic for a long time. And I think they will. And I think they know it. And there's probably, one of the things I was thinking of, we've had, once again, some of the drops have been great. And even the motorcycle today has been fine. But you wonder if they are waiting for this new drop system to drop some of the bigger drops. We'll see, because it isn't, I'm sure it's not fun for them to go in after one of these drops and see all these bots or whatever that have gotten them all. Now once again, maybe it's not, maybe it's just people have multiple accounts, but I mean some of the names are kind of goofy, right? They're like in consecutive order or whatever. I don't necessarily think the bot issue is as big as some people think, but and I know they're combating it. You can see people getting, they're trying to figure it out, but maybe we need a little bit of time. So anyways, back. So I don't think they've dropped any tier A books. Some of the tier B books they dropped. I'm trying to look at, Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16 is maybe not as good. It's a good spec book. And that's still relatively cheap. Black Panther 1 is overvalued right now, but I still think it's valuable because it is Okoye. Captain America 117, I think is still undervalued. I think undervalued is a weird word. I shouldn't even use that word. I think it will go up. I think that's the best way to say it. Because undervalued is, the reason why I don't like the word undervalued is because it is the value for what it is people are willing to pay at this point in time. It is what it is. You can say it's undervalued, whatever. The better way to say it in my mind is, do you think that this one is going to go up in value? And do you think it's going to go up in value significantly and quickly? Right? And so if you were to say to me, Strange Academy, do you think it's undervalued? I don't know. Do I think it's going to go up eventually? Yes. Do I think it's going to go up quickly? No. Because I don't know when that show's ever going to come out on Disney Plus or whatever it might be. So that's kind of where I sit with some of this stuff. It's how fast is it going to go up and how much is it going to go up? That's some of the things that I think about. Went and got a UF4 SR, I think. Hope they drop Ghost Spider 215 FA. Yeah, Edge of Spider-Verse 2. Stacking Ghost Spider FA before the movie comes out in October. Yes, I am a big Ghost Spider, Spider-Gwen. So that is one where you might not have to wait so long that it will go up. So we've seen that Mighty Marvel Ghost Spider. She was in Into the Spider-Verse. She's a big part of the new trailer for the Into the Spider-Verse. I think she's a big enough character that, they could even bring her into live action. She could have her own movie. I think she is a huge character. So I too have bought quite a few Ghost Spider Mighty Marvels or whatever they are. Spine takes hell yeah cards. This me what your thoughts on the value of VeVe SR comics a year from now. I mean, it depends on the comic, but I think a lot of them are going to go up in value. I mean, we've already seen Marvel Comics 1 go from whatever 5,000 gems to 70,000 gems. Now, I legitimately think that is happening because I know people that have purchased different things along the way. So, yeah, I think a lot of these SR comics are going to go up. I have not collected any physical since the 80s and 90s. Secret Wars. Yes, I used to have a all 9.8 set of Secret Wars at one point. Love to see the VeVe Club of the Beyonder. Yeah, Secret Wars 2. Show the Beyonder in that one. Yeah, I think that would be the Secret Wars set would be one that they could, do a full run on. I think it would sell well. I think the rumors are that they were going to bring Secret Wars in as kind of the last kind of like an end game Infinity War of all these phases that we're on right now in the MCU. So maybe we won't see Secret Wars for another 6 years. So maybe we don't see the Secret Wars comics for 6 years. Ooh, that'd be painful, but we'll see. Mickey Man NFT sales for 5 million. Predict SR MC1 goes to 1K overnight. Maybe, Randy. I don't know. I mean, it's also a combination. So when you're talking about things in my mind that are 100K gems, there's just so few people that can buy them. We might need more people that can buy, who have the disposable income, or maybe even disposable income, but that are willing to invest. So we saw a number of celebrities come in and buy, and then we kind of have our, celebrities that we have already, like Dr. Profit or Ray 60 or all the other guys that have a lot of big whales. So we just need, more of them to come in to really push those prices up. I think we need 600 of them, right? That I think I did a video on that, trying to guess the number of whales but if there were 600 people that just 100K was nothing to them, and they really like comics, yeah, that would go up, or it might even go up above 100K, right? Vor FYI. I don't know what that means, but okay. Hey, Sleeping, would you rather collect a common cover identical to the print, or the low print, or an SR? In VeVe, I'd like to collect SRs. I've been doing that even over the low mints. For me, I like the most scarce cover. And I even like that in the real world as well. Actually, I'll show you an example of that. So Venom 3 is the first appearance of Noel, who's a really big bad guy in the Venom verse. And so the most scarce book is this one. It's the 1 in 25 of Venom 3. I don't know how many there are of these, but not many. And this is a 9.8 signed by Donnie Cates, the writer. So I do have the cover A, which would be considered the common, somewhere over there. But I do like collecting the most scarce cover. So there's actually, I have some other ones too, but whatever, I won't get into that. So yes, I do like the SRs because that makes sense to me. The scarcest cover makes sense to me. Oh gosh, I think I'm losing it here. I often get the feeling that the comics dropped on VeVe are not just random. Yeah, I don't think they're random. I mean, I think Marvel has different heartbeats that they want to hit based off of their comic books that are coming out, based off of Disney Plus, MCU. And then I do think they have some filler ones. Like, I just think Tomorrow is a filler comic. And we'll just see what happens. So I'm with you there. What is something new coming for the website? Any plans we not know about? Okay, so a couple of things that'll be coming to the website. Better searching, of course. The database is overloaded. I need to move to a different database server. So I'm working on that. I do want to add some articles and some links to great videos of different content creators. I do want to add the ability for people to put in, especially on the collectible side, like I'm looking for this specific mint. And so other people would know that, so that you can go ahead and search for a mint number and say I'm interested in this mint. So those are some of the things I'm working on. So that's the website. I've been buying Harley Quinn black and white, red and white FE tag. They're just going to be 7 FE tag in the app. Yeah, those Harley Quinn ones are spectacular. So I don't think you're going wrong with that. Hi, friend, I'm special. Great. I feel special sometimes too. Best rare or ultra to get. Best comic overall under 100. I don't know about the rare and ultra. A lot of people say different ones are undervalued. You could look at some percentages of the ultra rare in comparison to the secret rare, and I would look at the tier A and tier B comics on my website to get a good start. Best comic over under 100. If I had to just take one off the top of my head, let's just pick X-Men 4. First appearance of Wanda. We've seen her in the Doctor Strange 2 trailer, and I think she has a lot more runway to go in the world of the MCU. Storm vs. Callisto isn't a huge comic in the physical world. Awesome battle comic. But with the Storm statue too, I think something is coming. I'm just guessing, by the way. Yes, James. I think, well, the word on the street is that Storm will appear in Black Panther 2. And that's why they're starting to drum up Storm, more Storm. That's just a rumor right now. We don't know if it's going to happen. But, and of course, Black Panther 2 has been delayed, so that might not come out for another year. We'll see what happens. Stack 15 is Luke Cage comics. All sub 18, good or no? I think it's good. I think Luke Cage is going to somehow show up in more Disney Plus show or a Disney Plus show or something like that. I think it's good. Big pullback in the market overall. What is the catalyst to move forward? The catalyst to move it forward, in my mind, and I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people probably, and there's a lot of channels I know that cover the market much better than I do. The prices just got to reach a certain point that it's like a teeter-totter, and they're falling, and eventually new people are going to come in, and these prices are going to match what all these new people can pay or are willing to pay, and they're going to rush, and there's going to be this massive rush, and then it's going to tip the other way. So, for example, we'll use extreme examples. Todd, I think someone said, is now down to 8,000. A new person, they're not willing to pay 8,000 for Todd. If Todd was at a 500, I bet you a new person might be. So, I mean, that's an extreme example, but I think we're just waiting for this teeter-totter to happen. And it's not going to happen with Todd. That was a bad example in terms of that, but it could happen in terms of some of the lenticular cards. Maybe those are fun. Maybe those are so cool. Maybe those fall to a point and people start grabbing those really fast, and then we start moving in the other direction. That's just my take. Okay. Do you think Fantastic Four Annual is going to go up? I stacked a bunch of 4 Digimons. I mean, it could. I'm not sure about that specific one. I mean, it could. Why can't I love myself? I love you, man. I don't know why you can't love yourself. Sleepin', if you would choose one comic hero villain for the next VeVe collectible, what would it be? I'd say, I don't know. My favorite hero is Silver Surfer, but they'll probably wait till the movie. If he's even in the movie, probably not. There'll probably be a while before we see Silver Surfer. So maybe Miles Morales. I'll pick Miles Morales. Hulk 348 rare, 100, or Spider-Man at 110. Tough to know. I mean, you just got yeah. It's just sometimes it's kind of up to you and what you think, who you like sometimes. Low mints worth it or too long to play? I think they're worth it. I think they've been proven now that definitely people are willing to pay. I don't know the values. So in other words, if you have under 100, is it double the floor? It's actually way more than double the floor. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the ratios are. That would be something you'd have to figure out. And I think probably eventually someone will start doing a system and we'll be able to figure it out. Did you look the new Jurassic League or Jurassic? I think you might say Justice League DC comic. I did not. I'm not as much of a DC guy, so I'm sorry I did not see that one. Marvel Comics 1 SR has been incredible to witness. 50 Combat Project. Yeah, it's amazing. Marvel Comics 1 really shows that people are into comics. It is pretty exciting. How much is Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man first appearance on your wall? Do you know where I can get a good one? So let's see. That is over my right shoulder. That is Amazing Fantasy 15, first appearance of Spider-Man 1.8. So very, very low. And I bet you its value is $30,000 maybe. Not sure. And where would you get one? I would talk to Elite Comics 11. Definitely, they could find you one and will help you. You can find them on IG. They're on Instagram. James 600. Let's go. All right, I'm with you. I'm with you. Let's go. Not selling uncommons for at least 50%. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, it's interesting. That's interesting. Commons and uncommons. The relationship between those two is really interesting. I think it's still got to play out. Still got to play out. Yeah. So the uncommons do, they pull off the cover. Yeah, they didn't necessarily do the best with that. And I've said before that in the physical comic book world, a lot of times the more valuable one is the black and white version. So I think they were trying to mimic that, but I don't think the VeVe community understood that. Dumb Thing Science is High Sleeping. Hello. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in, Gary W. Nice to see you stop in. Thank you. Scarcity gets you so far, but bland covers knock them down. Yeah, I agree. It's just, once again, I think the uncommons, people didn't quite understand that deal. I have 250 gems to put into comics. Which ones do you think I should buy and how many of each? Looking for short-term flip as well. For short-term flip, I can't even say that word. Remember, you have to watch that 8.5%. So you got to be careful of that. And then right now we're in this gem squeeze, so it's tough because things are going down, they're not going up. But it's a good time probably to buy. So you're gonna want to see it jump at least 20, 30, 40 gems, 50 gems, maybe go up. I would look at some of the tier A books. So that would be, I don't know what the prices on them exactly are. I know you have 250 gems, and it could be, you don't want to spend all your gems. You always want to keep some gems so you can go for drops and whatnot. Maybe Ultimate Fallout 4, that could rebound and you could maybe flip. Not financial advice. Oh gosh, I jumped ahead too far. I'm trying to wrap my head around why Licensor would be willing to let their IP go to IMAX market. Still receives sales cut, assuming the fees tied. Small contract, right? I think it's complicated. I do think that some of these, especially Disney and Marvel, they want to be very careful. They're learning this space, and so I think they feel like it's under control in VeVe, and so that's maybe why they wouldn't let it out. Sanzilla is tired. I'm tired too. Drop the Twins hat and get a Jags hat. Okay, well maybe. Are the pencil sketch on the covers without coloring more valuable? Yes, sometimes they are. A lot of times they are. Don't have an example of that handy, but yes. Do you see a correlation between the Gales in here? Oh, the Legends. Another guy you guys need to go follow. One of the earliest OGs, and just done so many different types of videos, and is like the coolest guy on YouTube. So definitely go check out the Gale. Do you see a correlation between secret rare and ultra rare prices, like Hitmonkey secret rare but ultra? I mean, it's not a correlation you would think, because you'd think the ultra rare would be worth more, but maybe there's some opportunity there. What would you like to see a mint number search on your site? Yeah. I actually have a mint number search, but it's only for the collectibles. And so I'm working on it. I'm working on a mint number search. I'm with you. Hey, Stephen, would love to help out on the website somehow. I know you little coding maybe use. Great. I do. Other people have offered too. I need to figure that out. I got to figure out how I can get more people in there to help me out, because sometimes it's a little daunting. Did a Mighty Marvel Battle game on my channel. Check it out. Okay. All right. I want to check that out. VeVe Showroom. I didn't know you had a channel, but go check out the channel, guys. Sonic Master. Hello. Do you think Marvel Premiere 21 100 is a good purchase? 250 editions. Let's take a look. The problem is that she's not that big of a character. And so then I'm trying to figure out, will she become a big character? We've seen her. She was in the Iron Fist show, and you even saw her lose her arm, which she does in the comics, and have this like mechanical cool arm, robotic arm. I don't know. I have not taken a chance on the SR, but maybe someone will. I am not ready to yet. Iron Man a good play, even though MCU is dead? I think so. I mean, he's such an iconic character. I think he's one of those. He's reached a status where I think he's one that continue to go up. So yeah, I do think Iron Man is a good play. Miles Morales would be huge. Silver Surfer animated could be, yes, all those would be great. I've been enjoying the new Silver Surfer run physicals as well. So are you talking about the Rebirth one, the Silver Surfer Black one? I'm not sure which one, but the Rebirth one I have and I have not read yet. So yeah, the Silver Surfer Black one I really liked. I really want to get into physical comics. After getting VeVe, what's the lowest grade I should go for? It doesn't matter if I just want cover art. Josh. As I said before, if you want to start getting into physical comics, I mean, I would definitely buy some raws. You don't have to, or lower grade. You don't have to get these 9.8. Just especially if it's really expensive for you. Now, if you have $1 million and you don't care, I mean, that's different, right? But I'd go slow. Or some physical comics, a new comic collector should go for. So you could obviously buy ones that mimic the ones that we're seeing in VeVe, and that's fine. That's great. But if you want to start reading and do some other stuff, the first thing I would do is literally go and look for a local comic book shop in your area and just, take a trip there, walk around. Don't even need to buy anything and just check it all out. And then it's always, of all the different characters, pick one that you like. I'm really into Spider-Man. Oh, I'm really into Thor, whatever. And talk to the local comic book shop people that are there. They'll be very helpful, I guarantee. And, try to just jump on in the middle of a run. It'll be a little confusing at first, but you'll be good, and then just keep rolling and start reading, and you'll enjoy it. Now, another route you could go if you want to read more, and the only reason why I say read is because once you've read some of the comics and kind of know things, then you will be like, okay, I really, really like this one. I am willing to buy and start collecting more. And so I think reading is a part of that. Otherwise, it is always cover buys, and there's nothing wrong with that either. But another way to read is Marvel Unlimited, which is an app you can get on your phone. It's $15 a month, and then literally you can read every single Marvel comic. So if you wanted to start at Amazing Spider-Man 1 and read them all, you could do it. So that's another way to read, and that even might be a better way. But I think you should, go to a comic shop, look around. It's all fun. You'll enjoy it. You'll have a great time. The most undervalued on the app, Wonder Woman. Undervalued, once again, that word. I don't know. Ones that I think are good value right now. Wonder Woman could be good value. I think someone said it's on 600. And that's one of those ones that's going to go up forever, we think, right? I think it's potential. There's 10,000 of them, which is a lot. But, there's a lot of Todds, and that's worth a lot too, right? 8,000 Todds, maybe? 7,500, can't remember. But close. And we're getting the infamous 20 to 30,000 people a day. Yeah, Wonder Woman's probably a good shot. Comics 101, learn the basics. Can we join the classes? You're our professor. Yeah, I don't know about that, sir. But yeah. But my DMs are open on Twitter and IG. Send me messages. I think I have gotten back to every single person, so that's a good way to do it. I'll do my best. Oh, I got a super chat. Another one. VeVe showroom for $3. Thank you so much. I've gotten 3 today. That's great. My first 3 ever. I really appreciate it, guys. I love House of X. Why is it so low? House of X is awesome, and I have that run, and it's a great read. If you haven't read it, once again, Marvel Unlimited or whatever, go buy them at the store. Although I guess the whole run might be expensive. It might be like to buy. There's 12 comics in that run, so it might be kind of spendy. But it's the whole game of, it's a cool event, but once again, very few first appearances. So I think that's why it's low. Have you been using your tier list to grab rares that I can afford? Good move. Oh, I've been great. I appreciate that, Doug. Thank you. I'm glad you're using it. I'm glad it's helpful. What comic are you waiting for? I want Infinity Gauntlet 1. Yes, I have an Infinity Gauntlet 1 9.8 somewhere around here. I too want that one. What comic am I waiting for? Probably AF-15, and I probably won't even be able to afford it, but we'll see. The New York Stock Exchange is starting to start an NFT exchange. I can envision comics being traded there as well as other collectibles. I think you're right. I think it'd be excited. Now they'd have to obviously form a relationship with VeVe, but you never know, right? What is the common power of X, the cheapest in the upper tier comics? Why is it? I don't know if I have that one as an upper tier comic, but maybe someone else does. Powers of X is the second in that kind of series. House of X, Powers of X. There's 6 House of X and 6 Powers of X, and the way you read them is you alternate them, and so it's 12 in the entire run, and it's just that those comics and all of those comics don't have enough first appearances. They're really cool. They're incredible. I do think that story, some way, shape, or form, will come to the MCU eventually. But like I said, the first appearances are really which causes a comic to really push in value long term. Yes, I love giant size X-Men on your wall. Yes, GSX is great. Always wanted to get the comic. I admire your passion for comic collecting. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So let me see. Where is that one? Okay. Right here. So that's the one right here. This is giant size X-Men 1. First appearance of like Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, kind of what's considered the new X-Men team, not the original X-Men team, which would be like Iceman, Professor X. And so that book has been going up in value and is an awesome one to have. And they'll eventually bring that one to the app too, I'm sure, and will probably be worth a bunch of money. What tier will you be putting Spider-Man 1 in that just dropped this week? Spider-Man 1, I think it's pretty low. I'd have to look at what I put it at. It might be a C. Let me look. Oops, I clicked the wrong button. I have it in tier C. Yeah, not tier D, but tier C. It's just a great event. It's not an FA, like I said. Cool cover though, huh? Great covers. Why do people not like Forge? I like Forge, and he is super OP. I'm with you, man. Hello. Powers of X, House of X Roth are a great start for X-Men fans. Yeah, I think they are. That's very helpful for James. Thank you. I think they're great to kind of reset the X-Men from all the various insanity that they've been in before. Although they definitely have kind of spawned out into other crazy whatever. Yes, House of X and Powers of X is a good reset and a good way to start reading comics for X-Men fans right now. 100% agree. Green Goblin, I found it. Great. Lawrence says, hey, thanks for all the value you bring. Thanks for the tip on facsimile on Twitter. Oh, good. See, if you DM me on Twitter, I will get back to you. Like legit, every comic would be Forge make this. Yeah, I do like Forge. Forge is an X-Men. That's what we're talking about. Do you think VeVe will implement wear and tear on their comics? Do you read yours? Yeah, they've talked about that multiple times, and I don't like that. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I love you. I love you too. I'm loving how VeVe is bringing people back to physical first time. I love loads and don't understand physical comic YouTubers who hate VeVe personally. Yeah, we've seen some of that, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. And whatever. My daughter, who's 18, always says, you do you, Dad. So I would say to them, you do you. Do your thing. All good. Everybody doesn't have to like everything, right? And just even in the comic book physical community. So these are graded comics. They're called slabs. That's kind of like the slang term because they're slabbed in this plastic. There are a ton of comic book collectors that hate slabs. They just like raw books. And there are people that just like raw books. And there are people that hate books that have been color touched and changed. And then there are people, it's, you do your thing, right? You do your thing. I'm cool with it all. You are like Professor X of VeVe. I don't know about that. Can't read minds. Not that smart. Do you think Spider-Man 6-panel cover dropping will have one global fall? Yeah, I think you're right. Thoughts on FA? I feel like the audience dictate price, not the label. If FA is poor looking, yeah. So you're talking about the FA, not on the comics, but on the collectibles. It's great. It's a very good point. So what's happened in the world of comics is that, and the big example is Hulk 180 versus Hulk 181. Hulk 180, the last panel, I have it. I own 180, but I don't know where it is right now. Last panel has Wolverine, just one panel. And then Hulk 181, he's in the story and they battles it out with the Hulk, excuse me. So 181 is considered the first appearance. 180 is considered what's called a cameo. 181 is worth much more. But a lot of comic book people will say his first appearance is 180. So it's this massive debate where people just, go crazy about it. And that's actually one of the reasons I thought was interesting, VeVe, because they apply these FA tags, and it, maybe there could be no debate. I was thinking, but in the end, you are 100% right. There will come a time when there'll be things that are worth a ton of money, and they're not FA, and it just is what it. Oh, here's a perfect example: Rizzo versus Todd. Now, Scarcity has a part of that, but Todd is the FA, and Rizzo isn't, but yet Rizzo's worth a ton of money. More money. And so you're right. The market's going to decide. I am glad they're trying to be consistent and they're changing it, but it is always difficult to change things that have already been done. And plus, people spend a bunch of money on these things. So, but we're early, so maybe it was worth the pain. But I think these are good points. GSX baby, yes, GSX is the X-Men team back there. What do you think about Amazing Spider-Man 2E 9. Spider-Gwen Limited? So I like that one. I don't own that one. That is a really awesome comic, though. I like that one. Phil Miles gets overacted. Love him, but he gets a huge bump from that. Yes. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm a huge Miles fan, so I'm very biased to answer that question. But we'll see. His latest run I have really enjoyed. So I think they really did do a good job with his latest run. You may disagree with me. That's okay. Fab 50 statues in Disney will become interactive. Did anyone say golden moments pump? Maybe. Yeah, I don't even know if they need to pump. I just think those statues are just valuable. I don't even know if you need to do much more to them. The golden moments. I just think they're this guy still. Josh still loves Forge. I love deep dives. He gives them physical. It's been 25 years since I brought it. Yeah, super fun buying physical comics. VeVe has me collecting physical item now. I'm gonna buy some physical comics in the future. Thank you so much for sharing wisdom in the world. Good to come back to you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Harvier says, hey, Sleep In, got a SR Hero for hire on drop. Ooh, nice. Wonder if it should hold or sell. Also concerned about FA Common Spider dropped hard. About 80. Yeah, I think some of those. So the first thing, Heroes for Hire. Anytime you get a secret rare on drop, it's super exciting. The Heroes for Hire, it's a fun book, and it is an FA. But that hero isn't, Hero's not Spider-Man. The hero's not, but it's a fun one to have, and if you enjoy it, I would keep it. It's fun to have an SR. But if you feel like the gems could be spent elsewhere, or you just don't like that character, or whatever it might be, got to do what you got to do, of course, right? Now, FA Common Spidey. Yeah, I know it's dropped hard, and it's just because there's so many of them. So you're going to see some massive fluctuation with that one, but I think it's still a good one to have. I know it might be hard to handle because it's dropped. I don't even know what it's at right now. I own that one too, so I actually bought 12 common Spider-Mans when they were under 80, so that was one of my better buys, and I have 2 left. I sold the others as it was going up in price. So that's where I get some of the liquidity that I have to buy other stuff. So Josh is anti-slap. Yeah, no, I understand you. Best Wolverine versus Hulk. You're talking about statue or comic? Not sure there. On the collectibles note, can you give us the Bart and Homer Disney was designed by Todd McFarlane? I didn't know that. Is that true? On the collectible note, can you tell us if the Bart and Homer Disney Golden Moment was designed by Todd McFarlane? I don't know. I thought it was based off a toy, Maybe the toy was a Todd McFarlane toy. I'm not sure about that. Sorry, can't answer that. What character percentage 4 do you want to see come to V? I think Silver Surfer, like I said. Thoughts on recent Iron Fist comic? I think that's the is that the Misty Knight one? I mean, it's okay. She's a tier C, tier D hero, so it's okay, but it's not great. I got my friend into VeVe, got a secret rare in the first drop. Wow, that's impressive. Back in the 90s, I collected Spawn and Uncovered Collection. Wow, yeah, 90s, the Spawn. Spawn 1 through 10 are worth stuff. Yeah. They're not worth a crazy amount, but they're definitely worth. I was really into commons, but then I fell in love with collecting secret rares. The problem is volume. We just need to wait for buyers and SR pool to move up. Yeah, I do enjoy collecting SRs. My last video was on SRs. I do like quote unquote scarce covers. So yeah, I'm a glutton for that too. Although a big part of collectible value is scarce, the other part is true feeling, which is hard to quantify. I believe we have the next best thing with sleeping at the website. Well, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. No, it is. If you have a emotional attachment to something, that's what collecting is all about. So I wouldn't sell that. I just keep it and enjoy it. Oh man, what about foil covers and ICs on the VeVe? That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. And I think, they're probably going to try a bunch of different things. I think about, they used to have those kind of lenticular style covers for, actually, you want to know something crazy? Is the Thanos 13 secret rare, I'm pretty sure in real life is a lenticular cover. In other words, when you look at it, it changes back and forth. So maybe they will do that with comics. That'd be pretty cool. What are the other things that they do with covers? They used to do what's called die cuts. So like if you had a cover, maybe the eyes would actually be cut out. So when you turn the page, you would be able to, you're actually looking through the cover. So there's cuts in the cover. So maybe they would eventually do something like that. That would be kind of fun, huh? I'm sure they'll mimic a lot of the stuff in the real world, just like they did with the lenticular cards. Oh, that's what you're saying. Silver Surfer and Thanos Fall. Yeah. Can I donate? I think you can do a super chat if you want, but don't feel like you need to do that by any means at all. How do you think Ultraman play out once localization takes place? Okay, so this, I can't answer this question because I don't know anything literally about Ultraman. I can only go off and repeat what other people have said, which is that it's huge in the Asian market, and I just don't know. So I can't answer that. I'm sorry. I get there are so many comic lines to release. I wish VeVe dropped a comic a week that is continuous. Yes, it's tough. Yeah, so we can look forward to the storyline just like the physical comics. Yeah, they've only done that once. They did that with the Craven's Last Hunt. And I do think they're missing out because they don't do that. But I think they're just trying to find their way. I do bet at some point in time they will start dropping. I think they will do that. And I think it's possible that they could start dropping a comic a day. I don't know. I think they're just trying to find their way. And they've even said that in AMAs. We're still trying to find our way in terms of mint number, in terms of other things. They're trying a lot of different things. In a weird way, we're guinea pigs, right? There was a awesome Wolverine versus Hulk cover. Oh, I didn't know that. Trying to think of some other ones that I can think of offhand. I mean, obviously, there's a ton of covers that are homages to Hulk 181. So maybe that's what is the limit of donation like? I don't know. I don't even know how you donate. I'm sorry, my friend. I think it's maybe down on the bottom. So where you would chat, there's like a dollar sign and you click there. I'm not sure. But like I said, don't feel like you need it. Okay. Waiting for they. Okay. I remember watching your video about buying a bunch of ASM comments for $20. Pretty cool to see now. Yeah, Jung, thank you very much. Yeah, I tried to, if you were to watch some of my initial videos, and once again, I made some very poor choices. I was like filming it, holding the camera, so it's like shaking. If you ever even watch some of those videos, you'll get sick. So I apologize for that. But yeah, I was, just like most people when they get involved with anything speculative, you want to take your time, you want to do your research. And I tried to show that in the videos. Oh, I don't know, I'm gonna buy this, I'm not sure. Oh, the market is just collapsing, I don't know. So you can, if you watch any of those videos, you'd see some of that uncertainty. But then you also watch as I pick up confidence. So that's kind of fun too. Those videos I think are from October, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. Not that long ago, actually. Um, watch your video. Okay. What comic book store do you recommend in Minnesota? I also have opened physical Todd McFarlane statue 219. Oh, what a great one. This is my physical collectible. Do you think it's valuable? I don't know. It'd be fun to find that one and buy the Todd and VeVe though, 2019. Um, so what bookstore? The big bookstore in Minnesota that I've gone to many times, which I recommend to people, is The Source. It's in Rosedale, which is just north of St. Paul. It's a huge comic book store, really fun to go to. Lots of statues there too. So that's the one I recommend. Oh, Super Chat. Okay, great. I appreciate that. Give an edition number. Yeah, I don't know about Superman. What's the best small series you'd like to see? I don't know what you mean by. Oh, like Craven. Maybe the Infinity Gauntlet series would be fun. 6 books. That'd be pretty cool. And I think that would sell well, more than the Craven Hunt, where people really weren't familiar with it. So I think that would be a really good one. Thanks. I think Homer and Bartoy was Todd. I've seen photos of McFarlane's version, and he looks dead and dead on. Okay, but I've never been able to get a definitive answer. And thank you for answering everyone's question well. Yeah, I don't know either. It might be from his line of toys, which doesn't necessarily mean he was the artist, but we could be wrong. That's an interesting question there you have, Doug. Collectible wise, who do you see next? Live Forge or Gambit would be the mainstream. Yeah, I don't know. I probably not Forge because he's just such an unknown, but Gambit's possible. And they've that has been a rumored movie for a long time, and I do believe Gambit is someone they will bring into the MCU. I went to the Source last week. Okay, great. So if you don't know, I live in Minnesota, and so that's why Em and NFT and I are talking about the same store. And yes, there's supposed to be a massive snowstorm that's coming to the Twin Cities in the next couple of days, but we're used to it here, so I'm sure we'll be able to endure it. The Infinity series would be insane. That's it. I have caught up. So if you have any other questions, definitely throw them in here, or you can DM me on Twitter, Sleeping Comics, or on IG. I do my best to get back to everybody in a somewhat timely manner. But I appreciate you guys all for checking this out. These live streams are lots of fun. I get to talk to people. And so that's great. Some more things in here. Have you heard of Image Comics? I've heard of Image Comics. The Max, I've heard of Max, but I'm not a follower of that particular one. Forge is the grace. Josh still can't get over Forge. Oh, and I got a super chat. Hey, thanks, YouTube 671. Should set up YouTube membership. I join. Yeah, I struggle with all that because I don't really do it for the money. I did turn on ads, as you can tell if you've been following this channel. So I do make a little bit of money, but it's not much. I'm just trying to find my way with YouTube. I've just been enjoying it. That's my biggest focus, is try to enjoy the experience, share what I'm learning with VeVe with everybody, work together as a community. And so I'm just trying to figure that all out. So, but at some point, I probably will need to turn on ads on the website too to pay for some of the hosting and whatnot. So that might happen. So you might see some ads in the banners or on the right-hand side. And I do have some people that are interested in advertising. So maybe I would put those on the website as well. So some things that might come down the pipe that could pay for different expenses. So definitely could see some of that. Thanks for letting me know about Elite Comics 11. Yeah, definitely check them out. They're great. I hope there's a Star Wars comic released. You wonder which one they're going to release one. Maybe they'd be Star Wars 1 and then they start rolling. I live in Denver, Colorado. Mile High Comics. Yes, I've purchased things off their website and I've heard it's really big, but I've never been there. Yeah, we could see Star Wars 1. I think that would be a great one for them to start out with. I thought they might start out with 47, which would be first Boba Fett, with the Boba Fett show, but they didn't do that. Thank you. Use the website content every day. My wife is going crazy. Good, good. Thanks so much, Malcolm says. I recognize you don't do this for the money because you see the passion, but you're a follower of fans like us that want to support the journey. So keep it up going. I appreciate that, YouTube. Yeah, I need to probably be more open to that. And it would be helpful, honestly. So I probably need to be more open minded to that. Would love some Image comics. Yeah, Image. And you wonder because of Todd's relationship with Image if they could get Image comics. And I want to say that they did mention that um they had some other publishers on board. The big one, of course, would be DC, right? Um, yeah. You wonder if DC is gonna just try to do it on their own and just flub it all up like they do a lot of stuff. Sorry, not to be mean to DC, but they should just take the easy money, put their comics on there, and be like, Tuesdays and Thursdays are Marvel, and Mondays and Wednesdays are DC. They just make a killing. They could just make a killing. But I don't know. I wish DC would do that, but they probably won't. Uh, Swaggle House Comics here. Another big time physical comic book. So if you guys want to see a really incredible channel, go check out Swaggle House's comics. And he has just an amazing channel that I've watched for years. Much, much better, much, much more knowledgeable than I am. So definitely go check him out. Lucas says from today, FF1, FF5, FF1UR, if you had to pick one. I would pick FF1. The movie's imminent, and you just can't go wrong with Fantastic Four #1 in my mind. Marvel's one long-term good hold. Bot 5, so hope you say yes. Yeah, I mean, Marvel Comics 1 is just a monster. I don't think you can go wrong with it. I think the common's going to go over 1,000 at some point. I don't think you can go wrong. Night, everybody. Night, Dog. Thanks for stopping through. Josh says DC on the Wacko floppy drive deal. Yeah, that floppy drive deal is ridiculous. I mean, and so now, in my mind, everything is a competition. So you want to always put your best foot forward for your brand. So when Marvel has these comics, and whether or not you think it's worthwhile and you like the AR, or maybe you hate the AR or whatever it is, right? It is what it is, and it's pretty effective in terms of what VeVe has done. So when you don't match or do better, like I said, it hurts your brand. It just does. So DC just looks bad when they have floppy drives or whatever, floppy disks or what. You can't even. Yeah, come on. Mark, if we subscribe, join, then I have a contest for real comics. Yeah, I mean, we could do that. I've thought of something like that. It's what I don't, and you notice I don't do that many contests or giveaways, and it's not. Hopefully, you don't think I'm like some sort of Scrooge or whatever it might be. It's just that I feel like every minute that I'm pouring out content, it shouldn't be a contests. I feel like aren't helping anybody learn anything, and I want to always provide content that's somewhat useful in my mind. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm glad. Man, I'm getting like crazy. I guess. Okay, I'm like a bad person here because. Okay, I got another from BE. I got another super chat. So thank you very much. I appreciate so much. You guys don't have to do that. And then E1 Guapo, is Miles Morales physical comic worth buying? Yes, I believe it is. I think it's going to go up. There are 84,000 of them, so you got to be a little bit careful. That was the print run about that. It depends on what, if you're going to buy graded or raw. Are you super big Miles Morales fan? All those things kind of play into it. You can DM me on Twitter or on IG, and I'll try and answer more questions. So definitely take me up on that, and I'll do my best. I'm glad VeVe got Marvel and not DC. I always prefer Marvel. Yeah, different people like different things. I am also a Marvel person rather than DC, but I do like some DC comics. So, but yeah, I'm also glad. Airwick says, day job as a software engineer, interested in helping out with websites. Hey, I mean, I definitely need to figure that out. You might laugh at the way I built this website. Josh says, wait, you're not the end of all be all of comic NFTs? No, I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. Swaggle, stop it. Hard to top the sleeping knowledge. Swaggle, you're a nice guy. Who just got to 10K. Swaggle House just got to 10K subscribers, which is incredible. Good work. Great work. Josh, the 90s Marvels one, not the real one. Oh, so that one's interesting, and obviously I don't know the catalyst to make that one go up. Other than that, it's Alex Ross. Yeah, that one might be a tough one. Superstar Money, sleep in, love the website. What comics most excited to see come on VeVe? Not there yet. Can't say F15. Yeah, someone asked this earlier. Okay, so from a personal opinion, it would be FF48, Fantastic Four 48, first appearance of the Silver Surfer, because that's my favorite hero. But other big ones would be, you know, we've mentioned some of those here, would be, which I do think we're going to see. So here, let's think of some. Fantastic Four 52. That'd be the first appearance of Black Panther. We could see that this month. Very, very good chance of that. Another one would be potentially the ones we have here. Oh, Incredible Hulk 1. How could I forget Incredible Hulk 1? First appearance of Incredible Hulk. That'd be a great one. GSX, which would be Giant Size X-Men. First appearance of Storm, Nightcrawler, all these big, great characters. Oh, here's another. I just go through my ones behind. Okay, so this is the one I'm pointing at right now over my left shoulder here is Amazing Spider-Man 300, first appearance of Venom. Who wouldn't want that one? Which is a Todd McFarlane cover. So yeah, that one we're gonna get, I bet. But they might try to match it to a movie or something like that. But yeah, ASM 300 we're gonna have to get for sure. That would be a good one, a fun one too. Okay, under 15, pretty much the same as the real. Okay, one. Okay, answered that one. Give me stuff. Real Green Goblin Ultra Rare versus New Mutants Ultra Rare. Thinking of grabbing one. I don't know the prices on that. I would maybe pick Deadpool over Green Goblin just because we saw Green Goblin. I don't know when he's going to come back. Just trying to think of catalyst to make it go up. But Green Goblin is Green Goblin, man. He's always going to be around. Alpha Red, thanks. I appreciate it. Great content. Says nothing. I'm drunk and I want free stuff. Yeah. Well, I don't really have anything free for you here. Best SR cover on style alone. You know, I really do like the Marvel Comics 1 SR. It's really cool. That might be my pick. I love maybe a comic book club, reading comics, movies coming along, a different strategy. Hey, that's a great idea too. I never thought of that. That's really good. Appreciate it, Sleepy. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. How can you like Silver Surfer over the floor? All right, Josh. First appearance of Spider-Man. That is Amazing Fantasy 15. That's the first appearance of Spider-Man. Swagger House. Do you feel like drops AF15 Hulk 1 would be day one buys if you didn't get the drop, or would you wait for a couple of days off of the market to level off? The good questions. Okay, so what he's asking is AF15 is going to drop or Hulk 1. These are huge books, and everybody now knows that these things could go to 70K gems. Look at MC1. And I really feel like an AF15, could be like an MC1. So that in mind, for example, the SRs are going to go for 5 to 10K, maybe even more, because people know they can move. It's really almost at the limit of how many people have gems. So the question is, as people scramble for gems, the first day that's going to come out, are they going to go back down after 24 hours? Like a lot of them do. It's tough. Because normally I wait 24 hours to buy. It's tough. I don't know. I really don't know. I might just have a budget and go for them not right after they drop, because they just accelerate insane as they're still being delivered. Like that's never time to buy when they're still being delivered and they're going in there just at crazy prices. So I would say I'm definitely going to probably need to do some videos on that. Maybe just discuss it through my brain if some of those big drops. But a common AF15. Okay, so let's do some math. It's not going to go for, let's just say it's not going to go for 500. Why is that? Because it took forever for MC1 to get to 500. I don't think, let's just say it has the same amount of mints as MC1. I don't think out of the gate MC1, I don't think AF15 is MC1 500 out of the gate. So it's going to be under 500, maybe 250. It'll be interesting. It definitely will be interesting and fun to see some of those big ones drop. Good question. No Incredible Hulk 180 or 181, first appearance of Wolverine. Yeah, well, they'll have to battle it out. It'll be interesting to see, because Marvel's pulling all the strings on which comics are coming out. So it would be interesting to see if they did 180 and not 181, and then the madness that would happen. Special covers like Immortal Hulk, DC collectors coming in for the artist loan. I do. I mean, I bought that rare, which is Clayton Crane. As you can see, I'm a huge Clayton Crane fan, so I bought that cover just because it's Clayton Crane. How did you get the name Sleep In? Is there a story to it? Yes, there is. I'll tell it, and then I think I got to run because I can barely speak. Like I should have brought some water down here or something like that. No water in the basement. Okay. So the story of Sleeping Comics is this. Sleeping is my name. I used to play World of Warcraft a lot, and Sleeping was my World of Warcraft name. And so then when I started my channel and other things, I just thought I just used the same name, but it also is fun because Sleeping also refers to comics, obviously, that we are still that are sleeping and could be worth something in the future. So that's kind of that. All right, I'll answer a couple more and then I gotta go. As a collector, who would you like VeVe exclusives become print? I mean, Clayton Crane would be one that you've seen. I just showed a bunch of Clayton Crane ones. So, and we've already got one, but I'd of course like more. Just wanted to say I watch all your videos. I appreciate your content, man. Adding so much knowledge, value. Hey, thanks, Christian. I really appreciate that. All right, guys, I'm gonna run, and I appreciate you guys for coming out for this crazy stream. And we'll catch y'all. I got another video coming soon. My kind of feedback on the MTL fees, and so maybe that will be interesting for you guys. But I'll talk to y'all soon. So take care.